You motivated? You motivated? You winning, winning. You know they hate it. Hold up. Fierce, fierce, she's fierce, 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 fierce. She's that girl from a west side girl to a south side girl to a north side girl to a east side girl. She's fierce, fierce, she's fierce, fierce, fierce. You are now listening to the Fierce Female Network.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Fierce Female Network. I'm your host, Fierce Manson, and today is Thursday, baby. And we're going to get on down into it. It is May 21st, 2026. 8:30 p.m. on the Central Standard Time Zone and 9:30 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. You guys know what I'm going to say. The Eastern Standard Time Zone is a time zone that rocks my socks off, honey. And I always got to push it up to the ATL, to my home team, and Fierce Nation International. So listen, guys, I'm going to jump right into it today. I have author Matthew Kinslow. Matthew Kinslow. He is the author of The Tireless Advocate. The Tireless Advocate. Before I jump into the interview, I do want everyone to know, the listening audience, Matthew and I both have some things in common, and that is being an advocate. For myself, I am an advocate as well, so I know about being an advocate. And so when it comes to health issues, when it comes to challenges, when it comes to disabilities, and when it comes to being able to do what most people cannot do, I am the advocate of that. And so Matthew and I both share a common ground advocating for different individuals. And so I have mad love for Matthew Kinslow, because he is going to talk to us on today. Hi, Matthew. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I just wanted to have an opportunity to talk to you, and I want you to share with the listening audience. And so I'm going to jump in with a few questions. If it's okay, I'd like to start with some background questions, if that's okay with you.
Yes, it is.
Okay. When were you first diagnosed with being autistic?
I was first diagnosed when I was 6, circa 2001.
Did you find any pros or cons?
Yeah, throughout my life I had observed and come to terms with them. Some of the cons include that it's hard to concentrate. Reading and trying to get tests done on time is a struggle. I was diagnosed with a speech delay, so I had to take speech therapy. And then I had all the social factors of autism, so I was very shy, and I was teased for having autism. But I had gotten better over the years.
Okay, that's wonderful, and I really do commend you. I've had some of those experiences, even in college, Matthew. I was so shocked that people in college would tease a person, or that's my experience. I got teased and bullied because of having a disability. I had a brain aneurysm, and it left me with a few challenges. And I was really surprised when I was studying for my doctorate at University of Phoenix how the people teased me and made fun of me. They said I looked like I had Tourette's and things like that. So if it's okay, may I ask you, how do you handle when someone make comments about you, or may tease you, or say things that's not unkind things? How do you handle that?
At first it was very hard because I'm a person that wants to have friends, wants to be sociable, but there were some people at my schools who would make fun of me, and at first I just had to take it, and I just dwelled over it. And in all candor, that lasted even into my college years. But over the years, I had realized it's best to forgive. I don't hate the person, but at the same time, I don't condone that. I don't condone their actions, and that those are what helped me fight harder as an advocate.
I felt that. That's very powerful. That is very powerful. Forgive. When you said forgive, a lot of people may not see that. So with this interview, I think this is very powerful because other people that is suffering with different, I don't want to say it's suffering, that's the wrong word. Many people that is surviving and thriving with whatever different challenge they have. Maybe when they hear this interview, they'll understand that they have to forgive, be quick to forgive because that's powerful. I think that helps us to take back our power when we forgive individuals.
Yes, I believe so.
And so I also want to ask you about school. Was it anything that school that was helpful, like hobbies or special interests?
Yeah, I had a lot of special interests since elementary school, such as drawing, memorizing facts of history and mathematics. I like juggling and playing piano. And I developed those skills throughout the rest of going through school. And then academically, I had an IEP, I had special accommodations that helped me. And in college, both Orange Coast College and Vanguard University, I usually had the disability services accommodations, so like extra test taking time. And that's why I took advantage of the most because I may know the material, but it's hard for me to do so in a time. Like, for example, if it's an hour-long test, it may require me an hour and a half to take it.
Okay, I understand. So I really appreciate you explaining it. And so I do have there are some young individuals at church that there are some children. Well, they're pretty much older now that are autistic, a brother and a sister too. And so I do understand what you're speaking of, and having I want to say experience with that. And also, I have another question that I wanted to talk about your future career goals.
Yeah, my career goal is to be a math teacher, secondary education, so like middle and high school. That's the ultimate career goal.
Okay. And so right now you're a substitute teacher, is that correct?
Yes, and a
Okay.
private math tutor.
Okay. And how long have you been a substitute teacher?
4 years now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, especially when the class is nice. So some
Okay.
days I do more managing than teaching, but
Oh, okay.
most of the time it's been a pleasure.
Well, that's good. And that's for grammar school or high school where you're a substitute teacher.
Anywhere I'm needed, so I've subbed special ed pre-K to 12th grade and all
Mm-hmm.
in between, or both special ed and general ed.
Okay. I like the way you said sometimes you have to be a manager. Now, you also mentioned that from your background being an influencer. So how did you start being an influencer? How did that start?
It was in 2017, and the only social media I had was Facebook and just for my friends. But then in the summer of 2017, I was getting very bogged down with just um, questioning if I have anything to contribute. Like, I want to help, but I felt silenced, and at the same time, I wasn't given opportunities, and I felt teased in the neighborhood by people, including people that never even met me. And I just wanted to advocate, and so I started to post on YouTube, but not autism awareness right away until April. And long story short, since August of 2017 to now, I post publicly on various social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, all that.
Okay, that's wonderful. I really appreciate what you do for the public. I think really that you're a role model. I would say a role model of sorts, and I think that you're someone that people can look up to because we need more people that have a positive outlook on what their challenge is. And I think that's really awesome what you're doing. I really do want to commend you. And I really believe and I see that you're a role model and I appreciate that.
I think I try the best I can.
Okay. And so you're also posting on social media, speaking in news media, and you have two other books that you've written.
Yeah, my first one was Juggling the Issues that was originally published in 2019, republished in 2020, long story short. And then I got into student teaching and substitute teaching, which I claim saved my life, was a life changer. And therefore I written another book about it called Unstoppable, which chronicles my journey through student teaching and adventures in subbing.
Let me ask you this. There's one question that comes to mind. How did you discover or find out that you loved writing? What gave you, the encouragement to write about your experience? Or did you know that you wanted to write about your experience, or it just kind of came naturally, or?
I'd say it came naturally. I always loved writing stories ever since early elementary school, and I would write several stories, especially fiction stories, and even movie scripts, but none of them were published, but I just loved writing all throughout school. And then when I was in college, my first semester, I started to write some more, and I started to write a story about an autistic individual, and I was starting to tell my story through him, and it was a fictional piece. And after I had written it, I had a consultation call with an agent, and he suggested that I start out with an autobiographical piece, and that's how Juggling the Issues started. And I guess I just wanted to advocate, tell my story, and hopefully encourage as many people as possible.
That's wonderful. You grabbed my attention. Believe it or not, when you said a movie script, did you say you wrote a movie script?
Well, you have various movie scripts or television series.
That's amazing. Well, if it's okay, we're just having a conversation, a relaxed conversation. If it's okay, I wanted to ask, when you said you wrote a movie script in television, what was the storyline, or what was the movie about?
Well, it wasn't necessarily about autism or anything. It was just random stories that I was inspired by what I've watched growing up, just various movies. Some of them were like spin-offs of already established movies. For example, I started like Back to the Future Part 4.
I love it. I love that. I love it. I love it. I'm going to take a break in a few minutes, but I got to say this. You know what? This may sound funny, but I'm just going to put this out here. You ever thought about, I love this. I'm a writer, Matthew, so I'm pretty sure you can understand this. You ever thought about maybe a superhero, is what I'm trying to say, like a superhero? I think you're like a superhero. I love to write, and so I'm very creative. I could see you doing a superhero, maybe a cartoon or comic book.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea, maybe in the future if I have time.
Okay, okay. And so I do want to dig into the Tireless Advocate. You know what? That title is powerful, and I love the title, the Tireless Advocate. How did you come up with that title?
In April 2025, I was subbing at a middle school nearby, and I started to get texts asking me if I could appear on ABC7 and talk about the latest CDC announcement about autism and its prevalence. Well, I was interviewed by Denise Dodor of ABC7 Los Angeles, and at the end of the news segment, she called me a tireless advocate. And it's
Oh, oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. I love it. I love it. And so also I want to ask you, and then I have to take a break in just a second, in regard to the Tireless Advocate. Let me tell you something. That title, is, again, I want to reiterate that it's very powerful, because advocating is a job that takes energy. It takes a lot of passion. People are passionate about what they're advocating for. And so I know the book is doing very well. I know it's going to do very well because it's something that you're talking about. It's your passion. You're advocating for other people that have that challenge. And so I do want to ask you as well, when did you first realize your struggles with being autistic might someday help others?
In elementary school, I figured that something was off. I didn't seem to understand most of what my teacher was saying, even though most of my classmates did. I had speech therapy. I would go to a special education class in elementary school, and I also didn't like reading, but it seemed like my peers loved reading, and I also had a speech impediment. So all of these things were just around me. And then, to be honest, in high school is when I asked my mother if I had something, and she actually said then is I had a diagnosis of autism when I was 6, and that's when my whole life started to make sense. And within 2 years, I became an advocate.
Within 2 years, you became an advocate. That's amazing. That is amazing. And so I do want to take a short break, and then I'm going to come back and finish up with the interview. And so anybody that's listening in, I do want you guys to support the Fierce Female Network, and you can support it by going to Cozy Earth. Cozy Earth. Now, Cozy Earth is one of Oprah Winfrey's favorite places to shop. So you will see a link in the show's bio. Just click on that link. It's going to pop out for you, and then you can shop at whatever store you like. Make sure that when you get to the secure checkout, put in the discount code, which is FFN for Fierce Female Network, and you'll get an automatic discount with shopping at Cozy Earth. So I really do appreciate that. And I want to jump right back into the interview. I'm here, if you're just tuning in, I'm here with Matthew Kinslow. He is a published author, the Tireless Advocate. And I do want to ask you, when is the book coming out? When is the publication date?
The official date is Wednesday, June 10th, 2026, and it's currently available for pre-order.
Wonderful. Is that going to be Amazon, or where should they go to pre-order?
Amazon or any book retailer like Barnes & Noble.
Okay, that's wonderful. And let me ask you, how has your journey equipped you to advocate for others who may feel unheard?
It equipped me with empathy, which means I feel what other people go through. It may be hard to sympathize or express it with words, but deep down inside, I know what it feels like to be misunderstood or not given opportunity or even being teased. So I thought, through my experience, I could help others by encouraging people like me, but also educating the neurotypical minds out there.
Okay, I do understand that. I really appreciate that. You're very outspoken and very well spoken, and I think that's a wonderful tool. I think that your presence is just wonderful. You have a very positive presence, and so you were on Channel 7. Have you been on any other shows as far as media, as far as news channels, sharing your story?
Yeah, I was in WGN in Chicago via Zoom in 2025, NTD in New York, New Dynasty, WSAZ in West Virginia, and a couple of other affiliate or owned and operated channels across the United States, such as Fox 6 Birmingham, Fox 26 Houston, Spectrum News, and such.
Okay. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing it. I really do appreciate it. That is outstanding. And so let me ask you, how did your struggles deepen your empathy for others or marginalized or misunderstood people?
Well, again, I felt like if this was happening to me, if people teased me or underestimated me, then it's happening to other people. And also, I see news stories or I read an article online where this person was bullied or that person was teased, and like I could feel what they're going through, and I felt I have a voice, and I thought maybe I could be a voice for the voiceless by advocating.
Oh, I love that. A voice for the voiceless. I love that. And then you said one other thing that caught my attention. Sometimes people underestimate. And you know something, that really resonated with me because I understand what it means when people underestimate individuals. For instance, my personal story, my personal journey, people underestimate me all the time. And this, I shouldn't say this, but I want to get real. And so I found myself saying, I'm used to it. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing, especially who are advocating for different individuals. A lot of times, I'm not sure if you're following what I'm saying. A lot of times, people will underestimate those who have health challenges, have struggles, or for me, with a brain injury, a severe brain injury and near-death experience. People may see me and they'll underestimate me, and they don't expect me to accomplish what I'm accomplishing. And that's, of course, it's very hurtful, and so how do you handle that? How do you handle that?
Well, if when those things happen, it's like it's not going to stop me from being who I'm called to be, and so I continue to push harder and just hope that someday down the line, they and other people would understand, and that it would also encourage and motivate other people to follow.
I love that. I felt that when you said it's not going to stop you. I love that. Congratulations. Congratulations that it's not going to stop you. And that title there again is the Tireless Advocate, because you're not going to stop. You're going to accomplish every single goal. And I just want to say that right now, you will accomplish every single goal that you set out to accomplish. And there is Matthew, a whole sea of people that need you, a whole sea of people that needs your story, a whole sea of people that needs to be encouraged, because I think that you are an encourager. God has his hand on you to help other people, to let them know that your voice is going to strengthen their voice. That's the way I see it. You have a very strong voice, and so what you're doing is helping other people to find strength in themselves. And that's the way that's an advocate's work. That's the passion of being an advocate, because there's thousands and millions of people that feel like maybe they can't make it, but now they know that they can, because they will hear your story, they will read about your story, and they'll know, hey, I can do this, I can make it. Look at Matthew, I can do this, because Matthew is strong, he's powerful, and he's tireless, and I can do this too. I think that's what people will feel and understand, that they can make it too. And so also, what do you hope readers will feel after reading The Tireless Advocate?
I just hope and pray that they'll feel encouraged, motivated, strengthened. Like it's a story of a person who never gave up. So what makes this different from my first two is it's through a fictional lens this time. And I'm telling my story through a fictional character. But most of it's based on my life. And this character never gave up. Ultimately became a substitute teacher and then a math teacher and also an advocate.
I love that. I love it. So they'll be encouraged, and because I think now, especially in the world today, we need to encourage other people. And so what your book is going to do, as you said, is going to encourage them. When they read your book, they're going to feel encouraged. They're going to have hope. I think that you are going to give hope to many people. Maybe they are feeling down, discouraged, or hopeless, but I think that God is going to and will continue to use you to help people to find hope again.
Yeah. I believe it's my prayer. I believe it's my calling.
Amen. 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 That's wonderful. What would you say to a young autistic person who feels exhausted from constantly trying to fit into systems that's not designed for them?
I would say to just not give up, and I do volunteer assemblies across Orange County, California, and I give them what I call a be number one encouragement. And it's just encouraging everyone to know what they want to do in life and know what is going to bring them joy. And even in the face of adversity, you never give up on what you want to do and who you want to be in life. And at the same time, we need to learn to go through things instead of around things. We need to adopt patience, which I could testify is very, very hard. But I found that the outcome is greater when you have patience than if you rush through things. And I'm thankful for that. At the same time, don't try to be someone that you're not. It's okay to be influenced by professionals, but don't try to be them. Be yourself, because we're all unique just the way we are. And I believe that disability or not, anyone could do whatever they set their heart and mind to do as long as it's practical. And behind the disability, there's a heart and a mind.
Mm. Boy, that is really good. That is so good. So, oh wow. You know something, you're very mature. You're very mature. And I think that you're a very talented, a very bright individual. And I think that you're gonna go through doors that you never imagined that you'd go through. I just believe that, and I just see that you're gonna go in doors that you never thought that you would go through. Believe it or not, Matthew, sometimes even in the workplace, people have challenges and they don't talk about it. There's a lot of people that are silent and quiet, but then when they see someone that's strong like you and you're an advocate and your book is telling a story, that's going to help them to talk about their struggle so they can be strengthened. Yeah. And so we're almost out of time, and I want to ask you what final words that you want to share with the listening audience in regard to your book, The Tireless Advocate.
Okay, well, first I appreciate this interview to share. The Tireless Advocate, I feel inside that it could help a lot of people. Back in December is when I thought, or when I first started to feel that I had this calling, this push, and I couldn't sleep until I started it. And like 4 months later, I got it published. It's currently available, again, for pre-order on Amazon. I just encourage people to at least look at it or share with others, at the least.
Yes, you know what? I want to commend you. I want to say congratulations on this book, The Tireless Advocate. And I want everyone to go to Amazon.com, and I want you to take a look at the book. I want you to do a pre-order, and I want you to support Matthew Kinslow on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. And I want you guys to really, even if it's, do you have it on Kindle? Is it available?
It will be on June 10th.
On June 10th. So everyone, please do remember on June 10th is the official date for it being published. And right now it's on pre-order, correct?
Yeah, the print version.
Okay, that's wonderful. And so remember, guys, I'm going to have it posted as well. It's going to be posted on Facebook. I'll probably do a little push. And when I say push, I'm going to give you a boost, Matthew Kinslow. When I find individuals, and I love your story, I love what you're doing. I'm going to do a boost, and I think that that's going to be wonderful. So I'll do a boosted post on Facebook, and I'll do a boosted post on Instagram. Are you on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to follow you. I'll follow you on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll do a small boosted post on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll follow you on Facebook as well.
Okay, thank you.
And TikTok.
It's just Matthew Kinslow.
Okay, and on TikTok as well. So thank you so much for being here. Your story is amazing. It's very powerful. I can't say enough great things about it. And so you've encouraged me. So very encouraging. You've encouraged me because I know what it's like. Believe me, I know what it's like to go through life with different types of challenges. I do understand. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here on today, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You have touched my heart immensely. Listen, guys, once again, I want you to go on Amazon.com. I want you to go to Barnes& and Noble. This is a pre-order. You can take a look at Matthew Kinslow. He has published a book. The official date is June the 10th, and that's going to be the Tireless Advocate. Man, I could talk about that all night, the Tireless Advocate. I know a little bit about advocating. I could talk about it on and on, and so I'm going to be encouraging individuals to go on Amazon to take a look at the Tireless Advocate. And remember, his name is Matthew Kinslow. It's going to be in the bio. You can click on the link and it'll take you to Amazon for the pre-order. Is there anything else you want to share with the listening audience?
Just thank you for listening and to encourage people to never give up on what they're called to do.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. So everyone, thank you for listening to the interview, and I really appreciate it. Oh, and this show is worldwide. We do have listeners in other different countries. Switzerland, Canada. We have a small pocket of listeners in New Zealand, Austria, number 2 in Austria. So we do have a few people that's listening in from other different countries, and I'm always excited about that. So guys, thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it.